Hardo bread is something I grew up on. This dense, slightly sweet loaf is a lot different than a typical sandwich bread. Every Saturday after a long day at the market, Mummy used to get a big loaf at the bakery. The thing about most Jamaican market is they are located on the coast, so that means fresh fish. So oftentimes dinner for Saturday evenings was usually fried fish and still warm hard dough bread. True hard dough bread takes forever to cool, so Mummy would scale and clean the fish, fry it up, and the bread will still be warm. I remember having spicy herring fried so crispy you could eat the whole fish, including the bones because they are really brittle. I grew up on dense chewy white hard dough bread, but today I'm making a whole wheat version that's just as delicious and healthier. I worked out a lot of the kinks in this one so you don't have to. Now, let's get into it. For the greatest success with this recipe, I'm weighing most of the ingredients. Weighing will always give consistent results because a pound is always a pound, but 2 cups is not always a pound. Speaking of pounds, I need 1 pound or 16 ounces of whole wheat flour. Mixing whole wheat and counter flour is a common thing, but I am only using whole wheat flour. Hardo bread is made from a low hydration dough at 40 or 50%, so that means the liquid is 40 or 50% of the weight of the flour. Yes, we will also be weighing the liquids. Doing it this way is very reliable. I am doing 50% hydration, so that's half pound or 8 ounces of liquid. I'm starting with room temperature water, but I only need 4 ounces. For the other 4 ounces, I want whole milk. This is also room temperature. I like the balance in both flavor and texture that half milk, half water gives me, but you could get away with using either one alone. Nice. I actually tested this a few times and 8 ounces of the milk water liquid is 1 full cup. I need half tablespoon or 0.3 ounces instant yeast. You're probably better off using a half tablespoon measure for this. 3 ounce brown sugar for that signature sweetness. This is Baker's dark sugar, which just has a little more molasses than typical brown sugar, and that adds a bit more depth to the flavor of the loaf, but whatever sugar will still work. And to bring all those flavors together, I need half teaspoon of salt. I see so many people worried about killing yeast by adding salt directly to it, but it's really not that serious. If your yeast is good, you would have to intentionally try to kill them to kill them. I don't even think about it. Next, just mix to dissolve all the ingredients, especially the sugar. Brown sugar granules like to stick around. Time to combine everything, but first we need some fat. This is 2 ounce room temperature vegetable shortening. This does wonders for the texture of the loaf. You could use oil as a substitute, just use the same amount if you choose to do that. 2 ounce room temperature unsalted butter for additional flavor and improved texture. That's a total of 4 ounces of fat, and if you want you could go 4 ounce butter alone giving you more flavor, or 4 ounce shortening alone for texture. I like balance. It's easier to mix the fats into the flour first. Next we can go ahead and add the liquids we mixed earlier. Whole wheat absorbs so much more liquid than white flour. This will be very crumbly at first, but a few minutes of kneading and this should start to come together nicely. This does not need a lot of working. I'm just needing to hydrate the dough fully. I'm not trying too hard to develop gluten just yet. I'm going to ball this up and let it rest for 15 minutes. That 15 minutes rest will relax the dough and develop a lot of gluten protein, so I don't need to do a lot of work. I needed this for probably 5 minutes, but even that is really generous. It's kinda funny, I've enjoyed Hardo bread for many years, but most of that time I gave zero thought to what goes into it. I'm going to let this rest at room temperature, but if your kitchen is hot, just leave it in the fridge for a bit longer so it doesn't overproof. In that 15 minutes, that dough will rise, but not by much. It's a lot softer and more pliable. There's not a lot left to do before this goes into the oven, so I'm going to grab my loaf pan. This is a 10-inch non-stick loaf pan. Commercial bakeries usually use multiple connected loaf pans and they are rated by weight of the dough that goes into them. This is probably a 1 pound pan. Just going to grease and line with a bit of grease paper, then grease it again, just for extra insurance. Now I can get back to the dough. I'm just going to fold it over onto itself. This tightens the dough and give it a lot of structure. The dough is now much smoother without a lot of kneading. Next, I'm going to shape the loaf by just pressing it out. I want the seam side up and the smooth side down. Next, fold over an inch or two of the sides, then roll it from the bottom. Take your time and keep everything tight. If it starts to get loose, just put a bit of tension on it and roll it carefully. Although this is being really stubborn, I like to seal the seam that will become the bottom of the loaf. It doesn't have to be a perfect seal though. Flip it over, seam side down. It might have lost a bit of tension, so giving it a little roll on the work surface gives you a feel, and you can use that to tighten up the dough. That has a lot of structure and that will carry through right to the final product. Pop that in the loaf pan and it's almost time for the final step. I love the smell of breads. Even the dough has some really pleasurable smells. It's like a primal thing. Before the final proof, I'm going to brush the loaf with whole milk. This has a couple benefits. Milk prevents the dough from drying out during proofing, so I won't end up with cracks in the dough. The milk has fats, proteins and sugars that caramelize to give a tasty crust with a nice sheen. Next, just cover that up. Final proof might take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour depending on the ambient temperature. Now is a good time to preheat the oven to 300 degrees. Whole wheat does not rise as much as white loaf. The dough is a lot tighter and stronger, and on top of that, this is a lower hydration dough. And those don't give a big rise, so it's usually ready when it's about 50 to 60% bigger. The dough is gassed up and still very tacky, but I'm going to brush a second time with milk. The longer this is wet and tacky, the better the crust I will have. If the dough is too dry, it cracks as the dough in the center expands. Milk is a lot better, but water helps here too. I usually have a spritz bottle when I'm making breads. This goes in the preheated oven at 300 degrees. If your bread is not browning evenly, just give the loaf pan a couple spins throughout the baking process, which usually takes 45 minutes to an hour to bake completely. A bread sounding hollow after you tap it usually means it's done, but that's not the case with Hardo breads because it's really dense. You might notice that the bread is at peak fragrance when it's ready, so that's an indicator. I'm going to take this out and let it cool a bit before cutting into it. That's not usually how you treat Hardo bread. Unlike many other breads, this is best hot and fresh out of the oven. It's still good a day, maybe two, but nothing beats breaking into a steaming hot loaf of Hardo bread. The grease paper is sticking to the bread because of the excess milk. Guess I overdid it. Wherever the milk settled, gelled the loaf and got baked onto the bread. That's a nice loaf though. I'm going to give it 15 minutes. This is still warm but cuts a lot better than a hot loaf. Very nice. That closed crumb is what makes a Hardo bread. Dense but still soft, and this smells so good. Perfect texture. It's dense, chewy, flavorful, and that crust is damn. Whole wheat will never be as dense as white flour for Hardo, but it's a lot chewy and way more flavorful. I love the nutty buttery taste this bread has. We didn't cut Hardo bread growing up, used to just break it. Most bread tastes so much better when you break them. Can we talk about bread back? Maybe unpopular, but I love it. The most chewy and flavorful part. It's probably only bad when the crust is baked too much.